Hey guys, welcome back. Code Knox here, and welcome to part 4 of Roblox scripting. And we're going to continue on this game because there's a couple of other things that I can teach here. A couple of other things that may be pretty significant to know. So, as you can see, every time we collect a gem, these little things pop up. There are notifications for every time you pick one up. And if you're in another game and it's constantly showing these, it's going to get really annoying and it may lag your game. We don't want that. So we're going to get rid of these notifications real quick with a simple script. Super easy. So what you need to do is find out where they are keeping these following things at. You can't click them because they're a GUI. They're not an actual part. So we need to go find it. So we're going to go to our player GUI. And let's see. These, no. These look like the Hatcher UIs. Main UI, frames. Let's find out where this is. Flybys. Do they get deleted every single time? Yep. So this is where every single little notification you see here, this is where they are kept. So what we can do is very simple. Actually, what we can do, come over here, one thing. Game, referencing the game, dot players, dot local player. This is getting your local player here. Okay. Then down here, local player dot player GUI, which is getting the player GUI, dot flybys, which is where they're kept. They're kept in this thing here, and we can simply just destroy it. Now the only reason we can destroy this without breaking any of the GUI is because the only thing that's kept in flybys are these idiotic little notifications. Now destroy, you could use destroy or you can use remove. They're both pretty much the same thing. They have the same concept. They just get rid of it. Whatever you decide to destroy, they get rid of it. So if we run this script, it will get rid of this flybys and nothing will show up. So let's run that. As you can see, deletes that. No more. And you still collect them. As you can see, I'm still getting the gems. Yep. Perfect. So that's that. It's fairly simple. You just get the path to what you want to destroy, which was the flybys, which is where they were kept, and you destroy them. Here's the script for this one more time. I'll go ahead and show it. Game, players, local player, here, player GUI, right here, flybys, which is gone now because we already destroyed it. Perfect. You have to put this afterwards, and capitalization matters completely. So now let's think of something a little more complicated. There are a couple ways you could do this. As you can see, you have a trident because this is Trident Simulator. They use Roblox's default tools. You click, you get one. Once you fill, you go to the cell here and sell. There are a couple ways you can do this depending on what they do, how their system works with these. It gets a little complicated. So what we have to do is we need to check exactly what they're doing. Okay, we need to get a remote spy. Now we're gonna see if they fire a remote every time you click. As you can see, they do, but I've already checked this. As you can also see, they have some data to make sure that you are not spamming it. Now, it may seem like, well, I have no idea what this is. Well, let me explain this. A remote spy. First, remotes. Remotes are usually kept in replicated storage and can be used to send information to the server from the client. They're used a lot, and that's about pretty much it, actually. This is using invoke server, so it is sending information to the server, and it's checking where we hit the mouse and all that. If the mouse is probably checking if the mouse is not in this exact location, then it doesn't happen. It just doesn't work. So how do we fix this? Well, there's actually a simple fix. You see, they use Roblox's default tools. If you check, once you equipped your tool, it will be in your character. So if we go to my character, let's find it in here, right here, and we equipped it, it should show up right here. As you can see, the tool shows up, and it works, right? Right. So, how do we abuse this? Well, actually, that's fairly simple. What we can do is this. Local character, so local player is equal to game dot workspace dot local player. We're gonna get the local player first, and then we're gonna get the player's mouse. So local m is equal to player get mouse. This can be, it's kind of used to check or to automatically click in a script. It's also used for keybinds, things like that. We don't really use it for much else. We'll get into this a bit more later. Just know that we're going to be clicking with the mouse, and that's how we get the mouse. Okay. Next, we check. This is probably a little more inefficient than most scripts. We're not going to get into like super efficient scripts. So what we need to do is check if the tool is being held by the player. Because see, if you're not holding the tool and you click, nothing happens. You have to be holding the tool. So this is called starter. And if we check, if we buy something, actually, how much does it cost to buy something? 50 coins. So I will go ahead and actually, with these, I'll buy a pet real quick. I got a pet. And the pet's not do anything. They give you 3.5. So if you sell, you get more. Yep, looks like it. I'm gonna go ahead and buy one real quick, and I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna check if it gets rid of your starter or not, or your current one. Because if it does, then that's just gonna be really easy for us. So we're gonna check real quick. Excuse me for making you all wait. I just really think this would be easiest if we did this. 350. Okay, we buy a new one. We buy it. Oh, and as you can see, it gets rid of the one that we had and replaces it. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. So now what we can do is check. So first, spawn function. This will constantly run this no matter what. While wait do, it will constantly run this. So this will make the while wait function constantly run. Just prevents breaking a lot. We do, well, first we have to do checks. So if your tool is unequipped, it will be kept in your player's backpack, as you can see. And if we equipped it and we check, as you can see, it's now not in the backpack. It's empty. It's in our character. That's exactly what we need to check. We need to check where it is. And if it's in there, then we do this. Okay? So, how do we do that? Well, we do if. We're going to have to find the child. We're not going to define it. We're going to find it. how do we do this? We use a certain function called find first child, and I will explain to you exactly how it works. So if player dot backpack, let's make sure it's not, yep, backpack, find first child of class tool, then, okay, so this is saying if it can find the first child that has the class of tool, then. So find first child, it's finding the very first thing in backpack, but since we're using of class, it's checking to make sure it is the tool class. As you can see, if you click on it, the class name is tool, so that means if it finds this, find first child of class tool, then we're gonna have to change the parent to the user, which is easy. Actually, what we can do is we can local chr is equal to player.character. This will define our character, which is kept in the workspace, if you remember, right here. So if they do find it, then we can take this find first child of class tool. It'll get the same thing because we haven't changed the parent of it yet. Dot parent, it's referencing the parent of the tool, is equal to, and we can't put the name of something, we can't put a string, we have to put a path, chr. Chr is game.workspace.localplayer.character. It's putting it in our character, which is this. Now, else if, so it's saying, and we have to define, it's kind of like another if statement. Else if player, or we'll do character, find first child of class tool. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Character find first child of class tool. So if it finds the tool in our character, and because there's no other tool, it will find the tool if it is in our character. Then, so if it finds it, then we can activate it. So, let's see. We can just, character find first child of class tool activate. What this does, it will just activate the tool just like this, just like it's in your hand and you click, it will activate the tool. You sell, as you can see, works perfectly. Now this works great, but it's going to keep running even if your backpack is full. How do we fix this? Well, first let's check to see if a remote is ran whenever you sell. If it does, that's going to be very helpful. So what we do, click, get some, go sell. As you can see, nothing. So we're going to try something else. Instead, it's going to be a little more complicated. We're going to need to make some sort of auto sell type thing. Okay, character find first child tool activate, right? And then this will work. This will work. But we're going to want to auto sell with it, because why not? Why not? But we want this to be quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another function just for auto selling. Spawn function, same thing. While wait do. Okay, we got this. Now what we need to do is we need to find where sell is. So since it is not a GUI, click this button, select part, select it, and see if it gets selected because it's a little wonky. See, it counts this as a safe zone. We don't want that. We need the actual cell. So let's try this again. Maybe you get the corner this time. Here it is, right here. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're going to see if it actually sells if we move it to us. Okay, so first things first, we're going to make a quick script just to do this. I'm going to check this real quick. What we can do, local player is equal to game.players.local player, local, or no, actually for IV in pairs. And then actually, when you're using Dex, you can come over to where you want, right click, and if you want the path to it automatically, press copy path. And then get children, do, so right here, it's getting this and this. This is a union operation. It too has a C-frame, and this has a C-frame. So we can move it to us. We can move both of them to us. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna save the position of cell real quick. I'm gonna do that. Local, local SP starter position is equal to, and we're gonna take this position here. So copy this path to the part. Oh, we got the part dot C frame, and this will only be ran once, so we can put it right back just in case. V dot C frame is equal to player dot character dot humanoid root part dot C frame int. Now we're gonna check. Does it sell? It looks like it does not, meaning we'd have to make an auto sell in a different way. So now what we're gonna do, oh, I kind of messed it up. Okay, I'm gonna rejoin real quick. As you can see, it does not sell even if we did this. So let's do while wait do. We could put this in a wait, and as you can see, it'll constantly stay on us, but it won't sell no matter what we do. That's because it's checking if you are in this position, right? So we have to fix that. Why do we do that? Well, now there's really only one other way. We have to teleport our character to that position, and then teleport it away, and then teleport him back, and then teleport him away. We have to keep doing this because this is server-sided. It's checking for this location, and it won't sell unless you're standing in this spot. So we're gonna make a quick auto sell. We couldn't talk about toggling, but I think I'm gonna do that in the next video. So we're just gonna make it automatic for now, no matter what. While wait do, we're gonna go ahead and define these cell. So let me get synapse, script hub, dark dex real quick. And we're gonna get that again. So select part, come back here, click cell, here we are, click this. And since this says center, we want to be in the center inside the circle. So I'm going to go to center. Okay, so local C, I'm saying C for center, is equal to, copy the path. There we go. It's getting the center. It's getting this. Okay. While wait do, we're going to do character, or I'm going to define one more thing. Local HRP, meaning humanoid root part, is equal to character find first child humanoid root part. What this is actually doing, right, is character, it's getting your character, and it's finding the first child that is named humanoid root part. Okay, it's finding the name of human. If it can't find it, it just won't run. So spawn function while wait do if HRP, so if character find first child human or root part, so if it can find it, or actually we could just do this, character dot humanoid root part. What we're actually going to do is we're going to do if character find first child, we're going to do it here, humanoid root part, then, so whenever you run this, a find first child, it's going to either return true or false. So if it can find it, it'll return true and it will run. If it can't find it, it will return false, and so it won't run this, and it will come back to the loop and it will try to find it again, and it will keep trying to find it. So if it finds it, then hrp.cframe is equal to, and right here we made the center of the zone right here, and it's called c.cframe. Perfect. And then we're gonna wait 0.3, and we're gonna make it different. hrp.cframe, so our cframe is equal to hrp.cframe, so our same thing, plus vector3 dot new, and we're gonna make it 0, 0, and then we'll make it 20. What this will do is it will move us out of the cell circle, and then it will run again, and it will put us back in it. Because if you just teleport it to it constantly while you're inside of it, I don't think it's gonna run. That happens with most games, actually. So vector 3 is a little more complicated to explain. Just know that this will add 20 to the Z portion of our current position. X, Y, Z, they are coordinate numbers. We're adding to the Z. The Z will move us like left, right, kinda. It'll move us 20 units over to the right, left, whatever. In the middle, so Y, it will move us up and down. So if we're afraid that we're gonna get stuck in the air, we can do this. Like when we teleport to it, we can do, or stuck inside the ground whenever we teleport to the cell, plus vector3 dot new. We can make this 0. We can make this like 5, 0. Right? And there we go. That's pretty much how you make a little auto cell. And if we test this, there might be some errors, and we're gonna check right now. There's probably an error here. No? Let's see. Let's see what's going on here then. It's obviously not finding this. Spawn function while wait do. Print. We're gonna put some prints in here real quick. Is in BP, is in backpacked, and is in backpack. And then here, print is on player. And here, if character human root part, print found HRP. We're gonna do this real quick. Print running wait. Okay. And as you can see, something is not right here. So let's find out. Spawn function while wait do. It doesn't want to run. Wow. This definitely is not normal. So I'm not expecting this to happen. And it is working, you can tell, because if I were to go and execute, let's say, something like this, See, it executes. So that means something's wrong with the script. Let's find out. So if we take out this, it still doesn't work. If we take this out, we can check if it's just a problem with one of them. It sure isn't. So if we take out spawn function, it might also work, because sometimes spawn function can break things. Oh, let's put this back. Okay, it must be, this should be working. I don't know. Print dot variables. Is it not getting the variables? It could possibly not be getting some of these, which is very unusual. It should be. Well, then we can change this up a little bit. Game.players.localPlayer. I'll show you all the script as soon as I type this all back. I might cut it here if I learn how, because I don't know video editing. Players.localPlayer equal to game.players player character. Else if players local player character character. Bam, put this there. I don't know why it's not working. I think if we take out get mouse, because we don't need the mouse. Could that be the problem? No. Okay. HRP. HRP is defined as character humanoid root part. So get up as one character. Fine for child. Character dot human dot humanoid root part. Wait 3. And then c.cframe, so we're gonna have to change this a bit. Game get service. And we're gonna do actual game dot workspace dot zones dot cell zone dot center dot cframe is equal to vector 3 dot new. So now we just need to do the same thing here. But can't put a humanoid root part dot c frame. So HRP is humanoid root part. HRP c frame. Humanoid root part dot c frame is equal to vector 3 dot new 0020, and this should be good to go. Now let's get rid of the variables and let's see if it wants to run now. As you can see, it now wants to run. I don't know why the variables broke it at all, to be honest. That is extremely uncommon. It must probably some sort of glitch at the moment, but as you can see, works perfectly. Now you may be wondering, what if I want to stop this? What if I want to play the game? What if I don't want to do this forever? Well, then I'll show you right now how to fix this. So what we can do is actually make a toggle. Okay, so what we need to do is make a global variable. Let's rejoin. A global variable will be kind of implemented, I guess, into the game server, your client. So you don't have to define it every single time. You only need to define it once. So g.toggle is equal to true. So we could say if g.toggle is equal to true, then, and then we can run all this. So we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, the prints, we don't need the prints, we already know what was wrong, kind of. And then we can slap an end in here. And I should be doing this, and I always forget. Should be doing this in here, I'm sorry. Let me go through this one more time. We took out the variables and replaced them with the normal things, because variables for some reason broke it. Why? I have no idea. It's either a problem with Synapse or Roblox at the moment. So instead, we put the raw data in here, the raw everything. It's just a little more work, of course. And it all works, so we need to check if this is true. If gtoggle, and make sure it is capitalization corrected. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, now we check if game players, okay, so we can actually just put this in here. G.toggle is equal to true, and so it's checking if the toggle is true, if it's on, and if it can find the humanoid part. Okay, so now if we do this, it will run because it's equal to true. Now, a lot of common mistakes happen with this, a lot. What happens is they'll do this, they'll turn it on, they'll equal it to true, and they'll activate it, but then they'll make it false again, but they won't comment this out. So what will happen is this will run multiple times, causing extreme lag after you've ran it multiple times, and it will start to break. So what you should do instead is here. Let me go ahead. You know the G toggle is equal to false. You could just open up a new tab and change the toggle from here. As you can see, you change the toggle, it's working, and there you go. That's how you make a quick little toggle. And let's see how long this video is right now. 31 minutes, that's a bit long. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it there. Next, we're gonna be doing an auto buy and possibly an auto upgrade if I can get to it. Auto hatch eggs. We're gonna do this whole game. We're gonna make a couple more, and then we're gonna get on to making GUIs, simple GUIs, not super advanced, and then we'll get into using public GUI libraries from other creators. Hope this helped you all. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.